Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan, and today I thought I would try my hand at a little bit of post-game commentary. I have never done gameplay this way before, but I have gotten some complaints when I've done gameplay videos that I don't play as well when I'm trying to think of interesting things to say and talk over them, and yeah, that is a tough multitasking balancing act. So I thought for this, it might be cool if I played through it a little bit and recorded my gameplay and then showed you guys kind of my best runs so far of these racetracks. Now, I've only played this for maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, so I'm sure I will get better at these, but I'm showing you a run of the 3-lap courses of both of the 89 tracks where I actually got through them and didn't fail the simulation. So anyway, oops. You know, you want to like hit the button and get the door out of the way. There you go. Good job, Captain Me. Anyway, I am. Nobody worry. I'm not planning on doing all of my gameplay commentary this way. Although some of my solo stuff, I'm certainly considering doing like this. And but whenever I have a friend over and we do something like what Brandon and I are doing with Deadpool, of course, that'll be in the moment. It's a little bit easier to rely on a co-host when you're trying to concentrate on difficult sections or when you're stuck someplace. But anyway, this is the $1.99 Batman 89 download pack. I just got this today. It came out in August, but I just got around to picking it up today, and it's quite a bang for your buck. You get the 1989 Batmobile, which you can use here in these special racetracks that you get also, or you can drive it around in free roam in the game. You know, the story mode proper. Excuse me, and you also get the Batman 89 suit, which just looks absolutely fantastic, and I'll show you that a little bit later. I can't believe the textures in this game and how well, how realistically water hits things and comes off of things, and it's really cool that the quality is up to spec with what the rest of this game looks like, even though this is downloadable material and kind of extra stuff. I do not mind the downloadable content so far for this game. I can't complain that it wasn't there in the first place, or that there's too much of it, that they're charging too much. This is such a huge, massive game. For your $60, I feel like we're so spoiled these days. I've said that before in other Arkham Knight gameplay. There's so much going on just on that disc if you never download anything, that all this extra stuff is kind of gravy. I like that you can kind of pick and choose, and you don't necessarily have to get the season pass if you don't want to. This is all I have downloaded so far. As far as extra paid content goes, but as I said, I think the $1.99 is a really fair price for this, and I have really been enjoying it. Like I said, I've only played it for a little bit so far, but the car is its own vehicle. I mean, it certainly drives like the Arkham Knight car, but it's not just a paint job. Whoops, that's unfortunate. You gotta be careful when you go over those sections there where the spikes come out. That is, every now and again, I'll accidentally undershoot that. Well, I got through that. It wasn't super pretty, but there it is. Only got that 1 star there. Reminds me a little bit of the NES. What is that called? The NES retro games that they're doing on Wii U, the NES remixes, where you try to get 3 stars, and if you just sort of get through it, you get the 1 star. But anyway, so these 2 courses are really cool. The first one is inspired entirely by Batman Returns, and there's a surprising amount of Batman Returns for this, considering that the download pack is called Batman 1989. This course, I thought, was going to, just from the title, would be all about that final act in in Batman 89, and that the whole thing would be about the festival. And there's a bunch of Batman Returns in this too, but I can't say as I mind it. The aesthetic for that movie is wonderful for a racetrack. I think it's really cool that this is inspired by those movies, but that we're not actually trying to drive through a Batman 1989 Gotham. We found really cool ways to mix all that together. I wish this was a game in and of itself. Take a bunch of really popular Batman things, screen comics, you name it, and put it all in a racing game, make it kind of a kart racer thing, a bunch of different Batmobiles, maybe a Joker van, maybe the duck cars like we're seeing right now. I think it's so cool that those are there. I love that this course integrates just as much stuff as it does. I kind of geeked out driving up the bell tower. I can't believe that's there. And there, you can't see it in this course, or this run anyway, but one of the ones I had, I actually noticed some money flying when you drive past Joker's parade float. That's fantastic. If you know that movie, of course, Joker's throwing money on the crowd, and I can't believe they went that far and put that in there. But this is just absolutely glorious. It's so Tim Burton looking. I like that the road keeps sloping up and down. That's very Nightmare Before Christmas. Everything about this is kind of aesthetically perfect to me. I really like it. My only complaint is that there aren't more of them. It's kind of tough to get inside the time limit, and the courses get increasingly harder as they go along, just like the first Riddler course that you play inside story mode. I love these courses. I wish there were more of them. And as I said, there really ought to be a whole game for this. I think it would sell. I think people would buy it. It's really neat. But this is also making me wish that we could get a Tim Burton Batman 3D video game like this, just made by the same Arkham people, by the the Rocksteady folks. People keep saying, what should they do now that the Arkham City series is ostensibly over. The Arkham series is ostensibly over. Ostensibly is not the right word. It probably is, but surely there will be more Batman games down the road. And I say what they should do is make more games that utilize similar mechanics to this, but are just based on different versions. I also think it might have been neat to, although this would have been a different thing and maybe should have been its own download, but I think it would have been neat to do one of these based on Batman Forever. It certainly wouldn't have been as popular, I'm sure, as this, and that movie gets a bad rap because of Batman and Robin, and of course it's not a great movie anyway, but looking at the aesthetic of this, I think that would have also made for a great racetrack. I think the neon would be really fun. You've already got that with the Riddler's tracks. Once again, this is just so cool looking here. Oh boy, I dodged that. But I was just thinking, because the racetracks in the game are all mostly Riddler things, it might have been really cool to get a Jim Carrey Riddler one. I also really love that we get to see the sewer here, and that it is. I love the penguins diving there. That's so cool. And they've got the rockets on their backs. Oh, that's cool. It's hard not to geek out looking at this. Just such a blast for the band. This is absolutely surreal. I never in a million years would have thought that I would get to see this realistic take on this movie, even if it's just in a downloadable racetrack for Arkham Knight. So cool. Well, once again, I didn't have a wonderful run. I only got 1 star there, but you at least got to see the whole thing. What I was going to say is you actually see all of that down to the minutest of details, including the cage that Max Schreck is in, which is just really neat that they went that far and included all that detail. Certainly wouldn't have thought that I would get to see that. So anyway, now I'm going to show you the suit and what that looks like, and I'm working on the Nightfall protocol right now, so I did a Two-Face mission here. So I'll go ahead and just show you the whole Two-Face mission that I did, and I'll talk a little bit about my experience with the game and why I haven't been able to post the rest of the Arkham Knight gameplay footage. So first of all, here's the suit. And, it's so pretty. It's really cool that, this is me just, picking my, mission here, but it's the suit looks really good and doesn't feel out of place at all. Surprisingly,
Two-Face's crew is robbing the Bank of Gotham in Chinatown. They're not getting their hands on 1 cent of Gotham's money.
Surprisingly, this whole aesthetic, I think, fits really well with the 89 suit. I can see playing the whole game like this. And the Batmobile just looks really good here. The whole aesthetic just totally fits. You could have just taken this car and put it in this game and make it the car for this game. I like the car that we got, and of course, that wouldn't make any sense for this story because there's a kind of a military slant to it, and Batman's basically got a tank that's sort of a drone of its own. But anyway, it would have been really neat to get to see. The one thing I wish that they had added to the Batmobile is, but I'm not sure how it would work in-game, really, is I wish the Gatling guns in the front opened up and fired, and it'd be cool if you could drop a little bomb and blow up something out of the front of it. But I do really like what the fire out in the back looks like. But, oh man, look at him in that suit. That is just absolutely fantastic. It is kind of weird, though, because he can still move his neck, I think.
No need to be quiet. I can hit them fast, hit them hard.
Because, you know, he's got to be able to do that, but that you couldn't in that suit. Although now that I'm looking at it, I'm actually not really sure if he is turning his head at all. But anyway, so I'm just going around taking these guys out, and
I can't bring the car in.
you will see me die once here because I wasn't being careful, because Kevin Conroy's like, hey, we don't really have to be careful because there's sirens, and so nobody can hear us coming. Nobody can see us coming. And so, I got killed right before, or as he was saying, I guess you'll see that here in a second, as he's saying, oh, hey, the sirens stopped. We should probably be more stealthy now. But anyway, the other really surreal thing about this is getting to hear Kevin Conroy voicing a Batman wearing that suit. Especially, of course, because Kevin Conroy's animated Batman was sort of loosely based on the 89 movie, and that show would not have existed, of course, were it not for that movie. But yeah, I am not the stealthiest at these Predator missions. I have gotten better at them. I wasn't really playing my best here, I don't think, because I was kind of paying too much attention to just what this suit looks like. But yeah, a lot of side missions I haven't done yet. Oh, I should probably mention. Okay, so
Two-Face locked us in. The thugs aren't after money now.
And then I die. As soon as he says that, I'm dead. Anyway, so the reason that I haven't posted any more Arkham Knight gameplay after that, 5th or 6th video, is because, unfortunately, I shot a whole bunch more of them. I mean, I got well past halfway through, like 2/3 through the story, and was continuing to play and talk about it as I went, and try to give you guys a reaction. And unfortunately, I lost several of those videos when I had a hard drive die on me. And I have been able to retrieve a lot of my library, but unfortunately enough of those were corrupted that I wasn't able to, that I decided that it wouldn't make sense to post the little bit that I had. So part of the reason I wanted to make this video was just to explain that and let you guys know why I haven't done any more Arkham Knight gameplay.
Two-Face locked us in.
But, you know, here's a little more.
And there's no alarm to cover the sound of
but I went ahead and finished the game, or at least finished the story mode. I haven't, as you can see, I have a ton of these side missions left. I haven't completed hardly any of them. So I still need to finish. I have a whole bunch of this Nightfall Protocol to finish before I get the, you know, true ending, I suppose. But of course I know now who the Arkham Knight is, and that became really, really obvious less than halfway through the game. I already was pretty sure that that's who it was going to end up being. I don't... And I guess I'll talk about this with Dan's news. He and I are trying to get our schedules together to do a podcast on this game, but I'm not in love ultimately with the way everything works out with Jason Todd. He seems to kind of turn to Batman's side a little bit too quickly for me. I also am just not sure I buy his whole plot and how incredibly complicated it is. Because it just seems to be like if all he wanted was to kill Batman, I'm not real sure. Because, you know, Scarecrow wants to stretch it out and make him really feel it and, you know, give him a lot of pain and, you know, see how afraid he can make him. And Jason Todd really just wants revenge because he blames Batman for what Joker did to him. And I like things about doing that story in this story about Batman's identity and how much of a part Joker plays in that, and hallucinating the Joker and seeing part of the Joker in himself and himself as the Joker and all that stuff. So I mean, it makes a lot of sense that you would tell that story with the question of you know, if the Joker and Batman are so closely knit, and Batman has you know, too romantic of a view of all of that. Perhaps he's just as insane as the Joker is, and perhaps he is as much to blame for the horrible things that have happened to people close to him, because he has, you know, allowed the Joker to keep living, and maybe there's kind of a, you know, selfish ulterior motive to that. But I just don't understand the whole military and army angle. I don't know that we're really doing anything interesting thematically with that. It seems like just sort of a topical thing that we're utilizing for, I don't know, any real good reason, besides just the practicality of, you know, if you're going to go up against Batman, it makes sense that you might need an army to do that. But then Jason Todd knows where he lives, and I just don't know why he doesn't just come up with a more stealthy plan to raid Wayne Manor or the Batcave. You know, I mean, I've played it through the one time, and that's just my first impression of it. So I mean, certainly my opinion could change later on. But I thought all that was odd, and I also think that. And then I'm just gonna kind of crawl around this bank here for a minute.
Cash. Two-Face's crew went after the bank.
Partly to look around, and partly to try to remember how in the heck I got in here
and pick up Dent's stuff
in the first place.
Sure thing, Batman. I'll send a car around now.
I love a lot of things thematically about the story, and Batman trying to decide if he is a failure or not. And he does have a character arc here where he does ultimately have to change in a way that he hasn't in the other games, and he is finally giving up, but arguably for the right reasons, in allowing his identity to be outed and in all that stuff. I think is not bad stuff. And again, all the stuff with Joker is, at least in the moment, a lot of fun and sometimes really frightening, and just the implications again of the notion that Batman and the Joker might not be that far apart, and that Batman deep down knows he needs the Joker just as much as the Joker knows he needs Batman. It took me a minute to figure out if I could even get out of here for that direction. But anyway, so that's just my quick thoughts on some things about the ending. I also think that Scarecrow this whole game, I think, is kind of overwritten dialogue-wise. You know, you're going to have a whole lot more dialogue, obviously, in a video game where you're playing all the parts in between the story. But man, Scarecrow just never shuts up. I mean, I thought Hugo Strange talked a lot. He just keeps speechifying, and a lot of the time, it was weird how that cardboard box disappeared. I think it was cardboard. I don't know. And now I gotta flip the Batmobile. Yeah, that's classy, Batman. I don't know. I feel like Scarecrow is a little bit underdeveloped in this game. He seems to be there more for a thematic reason than any sort of character reason. It's about you know Batman facing his greatest fear, and so you've got to have the Scarecrow there. That's cool, and I like it thematically, but he doesn't. He's not real interesting character-wise, and he's kind of the main bad guy for the whole game. I almost would have liked to have seen him fleshed out, and not done the whole Arkham Knight thing, especially because Arkham Knight being the big catalyst for this whole thing. Again, as I said, I just feel like that's all kind of wrapped up too easily. The Batmobile here is firing missiles, but they're not really coming from any place because that's not built into this version of the car. So, like I said, it would be kind of neat if turrets came out, but if you could see if like the Gatling guns popped out, but then I'm not really sure where missiles would come from. But anyway, well, I have all kinds of other things I could say about this game, and as I said, this is mostly just about the 89 suit and the car. He just looks absolutely fabulous. Yeah, that's great. Well, anyway, thanks for listening, folks. Sure appreciate it. And I will be doing a podcast soon with Dan's News, so look forward to that. And I will bring you some more gameplay videos down the road. I really am thinking about going back and doing this game in some capacity, but I don't know. I'd really like to do all the Arkham games, but finding the time to do that is not the easiest thing. They're quite long. But anyway, thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you again very soon.